What's up, everybody? It's Kevin here from Stock Hours. This week, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my live day trading experience, giving you an inside look to how the markets move in real time. We'll cover the ups and the downs and everything in between. Join me as we see what the week has in store for us.
Yo, is it earnings week for Nvidia?
I'm gonna get in on
What
Google
the
here.
hell,
I'm in
bro?
Google.
What is this? Bro, is it earnings
As
week
you
for
guys can see, I
Nvidia?
take an early entry right there, and that's because of the fact that we had a red to green, and that was showing that Google was strong ahead of the market.
I,
Meta's going for 471. Might play
I
kind of
like
like
the
a hold
divergence
move,
here.
so I liked it at 470.
Nice! Right here, you guys can see that we have a great push into my key level that I'm playing the breakout of.
It's going for like support at
And we kind of reject off of it a little bit. So right here, I'm just seeing how we can hold compared to the rest of the market. Right here, we can see that Google's trying to hold up, but it is slowly starting to lose momentum. Right there on NQ, when we dropped right down there, I wanted to see Google still hold and push up. And that's exactly what I got, so I stayed in the trade.
full corners would be like 900, but
As you guys can see right here, while NQ is pushing super hard, Google's trying to push along with it as well. One thing that I didn't like about this was how Google didn't have that immediate follow through, but once I got that follow through, I was quick to sell on the break of that level. One thing I could have done better with this trade is that I should have recognized that NQ is pushing, and then that Google started pushing along with NQ, so I could have held into my final profit target. That's just something to take note of that I can do better next time.
we still got some time. I have 183. That's where I would plan to take that. That's some two.
On this trade for Apple right here, you can see during pre-market, we're relatively stronger than the rest of the market. So I had my eyes on Apple, and that's why I was looking to take this trade into that 195 breakout. As soon as the market opened, I saw a strong push right into 195, and the second I saw that strength, I immediately jumped on the trade because you could see that big green candle on Apple happened way before NQ could even give us that strength in the market. And that's exactly why I took that super quick entry right when we touched 195 on Apple. During this pullback on NQ right here, I'm still thinking to myself that Apple is still a pretty good trade here because you can see how that green candle right there is still trying to hold up while the market is trying to pull back. So that's why I stayed in this trade for a little longer. Apple's ahead of the market here like this. As you guys can see, the market is still trying to break low a day right here while Apple is still holding strong, trying to break 195.
there's no trends, right?
Well, now we broke one already.
Here it goes.
Now right here, I see a red candle on Apple, and it's more aggressive than the one on NQ. During this pullback on Apple, it breaks low a day, and that's exactly what stops me out of my 10% stop loss. That was a great area to stop out of the trade because Apple had lost its strength compared to the market. If I could have done something better with that Apple trade, it would have been to wait for the market to pull back with Apple and then wait for a red to green to form on Apple instead of just a straight push into my key level. This next trade I take here is on Meta. The setup came from Meta breaking a 1 hour downtrend with strength, and we were playing that key level of 485 because 485 is a key level on Meta. As you guys can see right here, right off the open, Meta tries to push into 45, but we get that amazing pullback. And I'm looking for a red to green here to take my entry into the 485 break. This was an amazing trade because I had learned my lesson on Apple from the day before. Instead of waiting for those straight pushes into my key level, I'd rather wait for a red to green going into my key level or a green to red. And that's exactly what I did on the next day. I learned my lesson and I executed as best as I could on this trade. Right here we get the break right at open on meta, and I cut this trade short as a scalp simply because of the fact that it is the first candle of the day, and any trade that I take on the first candle I usually like to scalp. This next trade that I take on Tesla during the same day was because I saw how weak Tesla was in comparison to the market. Tesla was doing its own thing, showing that amazing divergence that I love to see. Right here on Tesla, I'm about to enter. I took more size than I usually do on this trade simply because I was super confident in this trade. I've been waiting for it for a super long time, and that level has been tested over 6 times. So I thought that when this level got tested again with that weakness and divergence, I thought that this level would break really hard. Here's the thing where I mess up though. I removed my 10% stop loss, which is something I should never do because you should always follow your stops. I simply did this because I believed in this trade so much and I waited for it to come to me for so long that I just had to see this trade win. Right here we get an amazing green to red candle that breaks 173, and I sell super fast here because of that aggressive drop, and I had realized that I was over risked in this trade, so it was better for me to cut it than to hold for a bigger win or a bigger loss than I usually take. The next day I took a trade on Nvidia. While I'm watching meta, one of my alerts go off on Nvidia and I realized how close Nvidia was to my level, so I immediately switched and focused on Nvidia. As you guys can see, Nvidia is pushing with a lot of strength right here while the market is trying to pull back. I'm loving the strength on Nvidia right now because look at how the market is dropping really aggressively. But Nvidia here is still pumping, trying to make new highs. This candle doesn't even close red. That's the best part about this candle right here, because Nvidia is showing that it's holding up super well compared to NQ. Right here, I'm loading up the contracts to play Nvidia at the 1250 break.
Like Nvidia, I'm looking at 1249.65.
As you guys can see, while the market is pulling back still, Nvidia is holding very nicely against the market. And the second we break high a day, I take an entry right there.
I'm in Nvidia.
I'm loving this push on Nvidia right here. It's showing amazing strength. There is some profit taking at that 1250 because this is an overextended play. What gave me even more confidence to hold this trade was due to the fact that the premiums that I had picked, they were holding super nicely through the pullbacks that Nvidia was getting. So this gave me even more confirmation to hold through the trade.
Bid is holding 47s.
Right here we get an amazing red to green candle into 1250, and as soon as we break 1250 with momentum, I sell my position because I'm already up near 20% and that's more than enough for me. As you can see, right when we break 1250, I get rid of my position because of that aggressive break. Something I could have done better, honestly, was to be a little bit more patient because right when we hit 1250, we pulled back and then we broke it with amazing strength, so I could have held it to my final profit target. Other than that, this was an amazing trade that I took, and I'm super proud of this trade because of the way that I played it. Thanks for tuning into this week's live trading experience. I hope you guys found it insightful and entertaining. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Stock Hours. I'll see you guys in the next one.